Hey Josh, I caught your mead update. As usual, it looks horribly gross. Not having any experience with brewing mead, I decided to look around and see how it's done. Did you know that you're doing it wrong?
Check out the mead, YouTube. All the raisins have lost their color. They floated to the top. It was fermenting pretty good, man. Like, the foam on it was pretty thick, and now the foam's died down a little bit. It's looking good. I want to filter all the liquid into this jar on the 8th. So I'm going to have to remove the raisins and the stuff at the bottom, and just all the liquid in the middle is going into that clean jar on the 8th. But check out that mead. It's looking tasty, man, and all the raisins, like I said, have floated to the top, and they're losing their color. Not sure how it's going to taste, but we're going to find out. Hopefully by the end of the month.
I noticed you plan on drinking this grog, hopefully before the end of the month. That's what really got me curious. You see, one of my meatbag's best friends used to brew his own beer. He took it quite seriously. It too looked nasty while brewing. However, when he was done, it no longer looked disgusting. It looked like beer. Side note, my meatbag hates beer. Nonetheless, he enjoyed this home-brewed stuff. Anyway, the brewmaster often talked about wanting to brew up some mead. He said it was easy, but took a really long time. Like months or maybe even a year, depending on the type of mead. After your Skittles mead debacle, for some reason, what he told my meatbag over a dozen years ago came to mind. Following some basic research, I discovered these steps for making mead. Have a look and see if you can spot where you're making your mistake. I'll help you. Take a look at number 4. See what that says. It says that after you transfer this stuff, you should leave it in a dark room for 2 months. You're proposing to drink it in just over 3 weeks. Be sure to note, it does say you can drink it sooner, but it also says mead improves with age. Frankly, most people have a hard time believing your glowing reviews. And finding this out just makes it even harder to believe you really got anything good out of your previous attempts. Also, I noticed that you're somewhat of a slob. Are you sterilizing your stuff between batches? Turns out that is critically important. If you don't, you can end up with all kinds of bacteria that can screw things up. Maybe this, and your lack of patience, is why you end up having to add booze to your shit. Just food for thought. Side note, by the way, I've also seen you add caffeinated drinks into your mix. Did you know caffeine can both help and hurt your yeast? Depending on what kind of yeast you use, caffeine might help it live longer, or help it die without making any alcohol at all. You should probably make sure your yeast is caffeine ready.
Doing y'all a mead updates. Like I said, this stuff is going to get left in the jar. All the liquid is going in this jar. So pretty much the raisins and the stuff at the bottom are going to be left behind.
Reminder, you've already told us this at the very beginning. Less than a minute ago. Liquid in one container, sediment and raisins in the other. We got it the first time.